Here I am out in the yard. Thought I'd just show you a couple of the little projects we got going on that are moving along rather slowly. There's an old Volkswagen that we bought. Thought we'd fix it up a little bit and maybe sell it or let one of the kids drive it, but it sure has been a pain in the butt. We should have looked at it a little better. Much like the guy with the frostbite garage, we went and looked at it in the dark and kind of made a hasty purchase decision and got it home. And it's a Super Beetle. Found out that the struts were collapsed on it. You know, it looked like it had been lowered or something, but the struts were collapsed and the lower ball joints were rubbing on the inside of the wheels. And so we put some struts on it, fixed a bunch of electrical problems, and it seems like every time we fix one thing, something else pops up. Didn't have any seat belts in it, so we went and got some aftermarket seat belts. You can see how long it's been since we worked on it, getting cobwebs in it. Just kind of got burned out working on the thing, because every time I'd fix one thing, something else would break on it. So it's just been sitting a while. Starting to get a little junk stacked up in it. If I'd move the seat belt, maybe the door'd shut. There we go. But now we look at it in the daylight once we got it home. It's a little hard to see with the frost on it. It's January here in Utah. About 30 degrees outside. Unseasonably warm for this time of year, but still kind of chilly. But it's got, you can see big scratches in the hood where they put Bondo in it and then sanded the Bondo and didn't get it all smoothed out. I think it's probably a hack job. Somebody's hacked back together. Got some little bubbles of rust coming up right there. They might be kind of hard to see. Anyway, we probably ought to get this thing back together one of these days and try to move it on down the road. Find somebody that has the skills to fix it properly and do it the justice it deserves. It's not a bad little car. This has been a pain. Somebody welded some tabs on there so they could hook a tow bar to it, and as you can see, it's not very friendly with the pants. I was wearing these the other night and came out here to do some work and walked past the front of this thing and caught my leg on that right there. Tore a big old hole in my pants and tore a big hole in my leg too. Anyway, I might change my oil later, so I thought I'd put the old pants on. They're already ruined. That way I won't ruin another pair of pants. And we got this other one over here we've had for a while. We kind of been tinkering with it too. Guy at a car dealership got this for a trade-in. Went and looked at it. They said, oh, we got to have, you know, $1,000 for it. I think they thought it had the original fuel-injected motor in it, and they said had to have $1,000 for it. I thought maybe that was a little too much for it for the shape it's in. So time went on. I kept checking back with him, and finally he called me up and said, hey, if we don't get rid of this car, we're gonna just sell it to a wholesaler, so come get it. So by the time I got down there, he'd already sold it to the wholesaler. I'd probably give him $400 or $500 for it if he'd you know, sold it to me when I first saw it. But he ended up selling it to the wholesaler, and I turned around and bought it from the wholesaler for $200. So there's the used car salesman mentality for you. I apologize if there's any used car salesman out there, but he wanted $1,000. I'd probably give him $400 or $500 for it, but he ended up getting like $100 out of it, and I gave another $100 to the wholesaler and got it for $200. It's about a 73 or 4. Fuel injected motor has gone out of it. It's just got a carbureted 1600 in it. Front end's all wore out on it. We got to tear the front end apart and rebuild it. But it should be a fun little project for my kids to learn on. Anyway, I got to get to work. Got to replace some light bulbs and stuff on the old Suburban. Got a fix-it ticket from the cops because I had a headlight out, so get my headlight put in, go down and get it signed off so they don't come after me. So here we go. Okay, here we are looking at the Suburban. Just want to show you these old snap-on screwdrivers. I don't know if you can see that in the video. It's pretty worn out. These old ratcheting type snap-on screwdrivers, I just love them. I bought this one probably about late 80s or early 90s and just used it every day when I was working on cars a lot. And the thing just works marvelously. And then I lost it. Didn't know where it went, so I went and bought me another one. Thought maybe I could keep track of that one a little bit better. Bought me a red one. I'm not sure you can even get this style anymore, but they are just great screwdrivers. That grip on there just fits my hand so well. I can get all kinds of torque out of it. In fact, if you look at some of the bits that I got with it, you can see it's got so much torque. I twisted the end right off of that flat blade one. My Torx bit, I rotated it around to where I probably ought to get a new one. Kind of tore the end off of it and torqued the, almost looks like the splines on an axle out of a race car. Just torqued the splines on it, and I torqued the end off of that one too. It's Phillips head. Anyway, these things are just great. I just love them. They're just, you know, if I don't want to drag out the drill and go through all of that. Let's see, I already get all the bolts out of that. Anyway, there's a couple Torx bits that was in there. But I just love these things for pulling out bolts. It looks like we gotta open the hood, get to those other two bolts, so we can get the little headlight out and get it replaced. Anyway, stand by. There we are. These things are just so slick for pulling little bolts like this out. Of course, a lot of you guys are already mechanics and already know about that. So, anyway, I have good praise for Snap-on tools. I use a lot of Craftsman stuff just because of their price and their warranty is really good. But you cannot beat a Snap-on tool for quality and longevity. Having something for that many years and having it still work just like it did the day it was new. Pretty amazing. Good value for your dollar there. Anyway, I'm sure this is boring as heck for a lot of you guys, but my fun little Saturday project here. Oops, dropped the bolt. Let's go find that. Drop the screw. Alright, let's see if we can get that thing out of there. Well, there it is. For me, anymore, that's a big project. Got all 4 headlights working, got brand new wiper blades on there. Should be good for the rest of the winter. Yeah, I know, it's a small project, but that's the biggest project I've done on a car this year. Oh wait, it's only January. Well, maybe things will get better this year. We'll see. Alright, here we are under the old Suburban, changing the oil in the middle of January, laying on the ground. Geez, I hate working on the ground. I sure do miss having a heated shop to work in and a hoist. Anyway, a day in the life in Utah.